Hi guys, it's Dustin here and welcome to Canada. So I haven't shot a video in a while, so I wanted to give you a video update and let you know what's been going on. Well, there's been a lot going on with me, and as I'm filming this right now, I'm filming it from my winter home in the mountains in Canada where I've been here for about 3 months living in the mountains. And it's something that I really love to do. I love the snow, I love snowboarding and snowmobiling, so I wanted to shoot a video update, kind of tell you what's been going on with me and what you guys can expect for like videos and trainings to come out. So, you know, a lot of people are always wondering like where I am and where I'm living, so I'll show you. One thing I really love about living in the mountains and where I am right now is this view right here. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but I can throw snowballs and hit the chairlift. It takes me about 37 seconds to go from my front door up to the mountain. It's actually the tallest vertical descent in North America as far as skiing goes. So I'm actually a snowboarder and I really love it. So I rent and live at the mountains for a couple months. It's just a tiny condo, but the location is everything. So, you know, it's a nice modern place. I bring with me, you know, the things I like. I can have good food here. It's generally my workstation for the day if I'm gonna work. I usually spend a few days a week on the mountain, but what I love about the workstation here is I got a wicked mountain view, and I always like to, it's a little dark right now, it should lighten up. Put my hand in front of it, there we go. I always like to bring my guitars when I travel, so Canada's kind of a, you know, obviously I grew up here and I love the mountains. So as far as things that have been going on, well, we went and we kicked off our coaching program with the TFB, so I'm sure a lot of you guys heard about that. So it's great. We've got several people in there kicking butt and building TFB businesses. Another thing I wanted to announce and what I'll cover here in this video is we're going to talk about how to go ahead and choose where you want to go for tax sales once we're kind of done with these updates. So the couple other announcements that I have is a lot of people have been asking me, you know, when are you going to start doing the live auction coaching again? So I'm not sure if you knew this, but back in the day, a few years ago, I went on a big kick and I was the only one in North America actually taking people on live auction training. So I have good news for anybody. I've literally had hundreds of people go ahead and be requesting, saying like, hey, put me on a list because I want to come on a trip. And I've been traveling so much that, you know, that hasn't been possible. So I've come up with a solution, and there will be live auction trainings coming up in the future. So stay tuned for that. So let's move on now. Next thing, I guess what's going on is I'll start shooting you guys some videos. My travel plans include, I'm going to be leaving Canada at the end of March. I'm going to Chile for a conference, and then from Chile going to Costa Rica, and then from Costa Rica over to Europe. So very excited about those trips coming up. And you know, that's kind of why we're all here, right? Everybody has their own different version of why they want to do real estate, whether it's travel or vacation. Right now I'm in a mode in my life where I'm just traveling. I don't have a wife, so this is what I want to do. And you know, like I always say, people don't buy a drill because they want to drill. They buy a drill because they want to make a hole. And you know, most of you guys are probably here because you want to do something with real estate and get some extra cash flow so you can do what you want. So let's move on to the topic today, which is I want to talk a little bit about how to choose where to go from an auction. So I'm actually going to pause this and set the camera down because I'm holding it, and we will continue this 1 second. Okay, we're back, and I've set the camera down, and multitasking for me is always very challenging. So walking around holding the camera is very hard, so now we have it tripoded, and now we can go ahead and discuss what we wanted to talk about. So, you know, every single day I get questions from people saying, hey Dustin, where should I go to invest in tax liens or tax deeds? So I want to just take a few minutes today and talk about this. And if you've heard me talk about it before, this will kind of be a quick refresher. But you know, I honestly think we can never cover this too much because this honestly is probably the most asked question that I get. So let's talk about that for a few minutes. Now, there's a few things that you always need to take into consideration. So let's start off with your current location, right? So where are you right now? What state are you in, and what counties are around you? Those are always the best places to start out because you don't have to travel far, right? As I've mentioned many times, when I got into this business, I was living in Canada. So I literally had to go ahead and travel from Canada to the United States to buy tax deeds. So it was quite a bit of a journey. So for those of you guys living in the States, which is 95% of people watching this, so you're in good shape. You know, you definitely don't have it as hard as I did when I got into this stuff. So, you know, go ahead and first off, always start with your county. See what's going on there, you know. Even if you're interested in tax deeds and there's tax lien sales going on in your county, what I want you to do is go check out the sale, because, you know, a lot of these things are similar, and the more comfortable you get in these environments, the more calm and cool you'll be and the better decisions you'll make. And when the time is right, when you've done your research and the right property shows up, you're going to be in great shape and get a lot of deals. So go ahead, start off, see what's going on in your own county. And then from there, start branching outwards, okay? So, you know, think about, what do you want, tax liens or tax deeds? So if you're like me, when you got into this, or when you're getting into it, you want to find sales right away. So as I mentioned, you get on the phone, you find when tax deed sales are coming up. And for those of you guys that are already customers, you can go into the access area and click on the map and pull up all of the states and the names, so you can go ahead and start researching that. So for example, it all depends what you want to do and what your budget is. So there's some places that actually have tax deed sales every single month. Places like Georgia, first Tuesday of every month. Florida has a lot of tax deed sales. Obviously Texas, I'm a big fan of, first Tuesday of every month. Those guys are always having tax deed sales, so you can get going on that right away. And maybe it depends on your budget and where you are, but remember, if you can travel close, you know, if you can drive maybe 5 or 6 hours, then yeah, go and start checking out deed sales or lien sales wherever you can. Don't fly across the country unless there's going to be a whole bunch of property. And I'm thinking like 50 to 100 properties on your list that you can actually go and look at. Because, for example, if you travel across the country or travel a couple thousand miles by airplane, spend the money, and you only have 30 properties, well, over 50 to 60% are going to redeem, and then with some competition at the sale, you know, there's a chance you might not get anything, and it's not worth it. Whereas, you know, if you pull a big list and you go, you're going to be more prepared than anybody, and you're going to make your trip worthwhile. So, you know, as I mentioned, I used to take students on one of the only training trips in North America where I'd actually guide people at an auction. Now, I had students hit home runs right off the bat. They would get tax deed properties right off the bat, and they would be in great shape. So you just got to stay consistent with this stuff, and it will come together and happen for you. So those are your action plans. See what's going on in your county and see what's around you. Figure out your budget and just start gathering data on when those sales are. And if you want to get going right away, research a sale that's coming up, you know, within one of the states that are having sales every month. So on that note, we're going to go. I'm going to wrap this up and make a few videos right now. And keep an eye on your inbox, because I'll make an announcement for anybody wanting to join on one of the only live training trips in North America for tax liens and deeds. So keep up the good work, and I'm excited to share the next video with you. Bye.